to this one. You read through the Gospels as a journalist on the starting basis they are true. How should a secular reader, assuming the Gospels aren't true, read them?
Well, I think, first of all, the great thing is to read them. Now, a lot of people have said to me, so I wanted to establish the proposition that the New Testament is not threatening or closed off to normal reading. There are parts of it that are hard to understand, parts of it that are, excited theological study for 2,000 years, but 95% of it is open to just plain reading. Just read it for its sense. And of course, the writing is magnificent, even across 2,000 years and across all these translations. So, David, people say to me, where do I start? Christian friends of mine who just aren't in the practice of reading the Gospels, or some atheist friends. So we all have our different favourites and so on. But what I advise people who aren't used to it is to start with the Gospel of Luke. I find Luke a very warm gospel because it's got more women in it than the others. And also Luke, he's a journalist. He's the Bob Woodward of the Jesus movement. He says, look, I've read this Bible reading we had at the beginning of our session here. He says, I've read all the accounts. I've spoken to all the people. Here is the scoop. And it's a very accessible, easy to read book. Then I would read the first letter of John, because the tone of voice of John is spectacular. John, his whole life, he just can't get over the wonder of the experience of Jesus that he's had, and the wonder of Christ and his Christology, as they say, is magnificent. Then I myself love the letter to the Galatians. So I think that's a great fun letter to read. And then, of course, John's Gospel, because the identity of Jesus is so clear in John's Gospel. But I wouldn't advise an atheist to have, to read it with an open mind or something. Just read it as a story to start with and see where it takes you. But I'd caution any atheist, it's quite dangerous. You never know what's going to happen to you once you read it.